Siento. Yo. It's the unnamed show.
It's audio. Wow.
Oh. It's the show with no name.
It does have a name.
Don't that sound better?
It technically has two names. Originally this show was called Pillow Talking.
And then
I felt like you were uncomfortable with that name.
And then
signify, I don't know what I thought. So
no, yeah, you do. Come on. Yeah. Don't mess with the camera.
I'm not messing with the camera.
This is real.
Put an email.
Live.
It is live. Yeah, it got real touchy for a little bit, and you didn't like the whole pillow talking because it signified we shared a pillow. So I was like,
we don't we?
Dude, he was being weird on camera. So I was like, I don't know.
Shots fired.
I changed the name to Adult Conversation, which technically was not for this show. It was for the events that I'm going to be hosting.
Don't let me steal your greatness. Don't let my insecurity, what they say? What Kendrick say? You know the Kendrick line. Mm-hmm. Don't fake humble.
No, I can't fake humble
for somebody else.
Your ass is insecure.
So then what? Then what's the name of the show?
Pillow Talking.
Okay, let's clarify then. Stand on that business. Because
right,
I don't recall this. But we in it now.
Yeah, we are. There we are.
Whose turn?
It's my turn to hold and pick.
Okay.
And your turn to read. I saw that.
We need to look back at the records here because I don't know.
I read the last time because I was excited.
Let me update my notes.
His psych notes, it takes all the time.
For myself. Not on others. On me. Why you say it like that? Others. You are full of crap.
I've seen his notes. His notes are directed at the other person.
Do not look at that face. Do not quote that. Do not believe everything you see on TV, people. As I scratch my...
Now... Psych notes, they're always prepared for court.
I'm just saying. The shortest pencil is longer than the longest memory.
They never say, I felt this way.
Oh my God.
You did this.
It's so much truth when people are being sarcastic. It is,
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being legit ass honest. That's why he's laughing.
I'm laughing because right. You can't even say that with a straight face. Here, let me read this thing.
I can't say what with a straight face. That your psych notes are for court. Are court ready always?
Right. Court prepared.
They are.
Professionally prepared.
Coming from a person.
We got two. I'm not looking. We got two. That's the one you picked?
That's one for back. It's a white one. I was feeling emotional when I wrote all those. I don't know what they are now.
Oh, fuck.
What is it?
Look, I guess I do the same thing when I pick yours.
Like, fuck. The white ones, I remember I was emotional that day when I was writing down a whole bunch of shit. I don't know what this is.
You was emotional, all right. Excuse me. Pleasure.
Pleasure. Yeah,
that's an interesting one. I feel some Greco-Roman roots there, but
here we go.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Look.
Etymology doesn't always come from.
We didn't even say etymology here, but if it's English,
you said Greco-Roman. That sounds like etymology to me. So here we go.
We ain't even read nothing
yet. I can read it. Pleasure, according to Google, and Oxford Languages, which is English, since we talking about etymology of words and stuff. A feeling of happy satisfaction and enjoyment. Come on, pull it down. Keep on. The adjective used or intended for entertainment rather than business. And then the verb is give sexual employment or satisfaction. Enjoyment.
That was a totally different context right there, boy. Whoa. Oh, man.
You can hit that C more so we can see the etymology of the word. You know you want to.
Where's that at? Where you see that at? You think it's going to be there? I don't think they're going to have it there.
You never know.
Nah, they ain't
keep going. Right, scroll up. Yeah, it was right there.
Late English, French, pleasure, to please. The second syllable is altered under the influence of the how long get what the hell as a measure. I don't know what that means. Sorry.
The second
not.
syllable was altered under the influence of
It's
abstract
it's
nouns
okay.
ending in
I don't know.
er.
Maybe that's where I miss out. Maybe that's
Nasir, to please. So pleasure means to please. There we go.
to please.
It's
That's
a French
kind of
word.
you get it there.
It sounds French too. They're all about pleasure
Pleasure.
and Epicureanism. At least that's just a stigma.
What does Epicureanism mean?
That is one of the thoughts. So Epicurean means, like free for all. Like
Polyamory.
If you think of
Where we're at now. I'm sorry. That's so.
Ironically, the 4 thoughts of psychology, that whole color thing, is actually the colors of the masculine Ninja Turtles. People don't even know that. So Epicureanism is actually Michelangelo. You think about his personality, that free, we cool.
Which one's that? The blue one, right?
Michelangelo's orange. That's the orange personality. That's Epicureanism.
I have not figured out yet how to link those names with those colors. Sorry. Don't judge me here. I love the movie.
It's not about the colors. It is about the colors.
But it's about
It's not about the names as it is the colors, because the colors represent the personality.
Right. I dig. I think
those who didn't know that, there you go.
When I think pleasure, I think reward. I think motivation. But I also sometimes can think distraction and escape. So it's an interesting balance. And I think it really depends on, again, like how you use it. I think the addict, addicted to anything, is always in seeking of pleasure. And that kind of naturally, I feel like any other human being. But the limitations and the danger that person takes on in pursuit of that pleasure is a little bit more extreme than someone that may not have the same personality traits, right? So, I think it's a good thing. But he goes to sleep. I think it's a good thing, but I think it has to be, dare I say, in moderation.
I disagree. I do. I define pleasure as ecstasy, and when you think of when you speak of, in my opinion, escapism, that is not necessarily pleasure. I think when I think of pleasure personally, I think that pleasure is just a state of ecstasy, a state of enjoyment, and when you are in that state, you raise your vibrations. You can be into lifting weights and you find pleasure in that. That's the extreme enjoyment, and it makes you want to come back. Most people don't go to the gym to escape. They get fit, or I guess kind of you do.
You
escape whatever's happening
for sure
outside of those walls.
Which one is the last spell?
But I don't the ecstasy.
This one?
Yeah. Oh. Like you should put ecstasy definition.
Because I'm
just gonna automatically bring up
some erotic stuff.
Yeah, an ecstasy that wait. An overwhelming feeling of great happiness or joyful excitement. That is what pleasure is. It's just feeling that ecstatic feeling all the time.
Or like the second one says, though, catching the Holy Ghost, emotional or religious frenzy or trance-like state. Originally, one evolving an experience of mystic self-transcendence. Right, going beyond oneself. Huh. Here we go.
That's how I define pleasure. Like pleasure, yes, there is the erotic, carnal version of pleasure, but there's also pleasure in
self-development.
Sitting and drinking a nice hot cup of hibiscus tea, or a nice good hot cup of coffee, because I love coffee. It's what you do if you are martial arts. You were standing in the horse stance for 40 minutes, if that's even possible.
Some have. I'm not at that level.
I'm just saying, like,
inshallah, I'll get there.
To sit there and do that, to hold that stance will be pleasurable.
But I still and sorry, never to interrupt your knowledge or
I
wisdom.
Interrupt.
But just always to. Yeah, I feel like there's still, and I guess finding pleasure, like we've mentioned, with that Japanese samurai DNA, right? That we have passed down. Or I guess you have passed down. I gotta
My
look into that.
ancestors.
Right. So I think about the idea of finding pleasure in everything that you do, right?
Right.
And I guess in that context, I see where you're coming from. Like there is no moderation. You should be able to
Setting that
virtually
high
have an
vibration
image.
so you
Yeah.
continue to attract ecstasy and pleasure and not like strife and pain and struggle. Because who wants that?
I mean, that's a very glass half full. Like no matter if it's one drop in a gallon jug, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
the glass
Pleasure.
is still finding pleasure in the grind. Huh? You know, I had to keep my mouth shut at the plantation because they talk about the grind don't stop. 2.0.
It seems like
Yeah,
a
I can't.
very tired
I
existence.
can't help but take it super literal and talk about to grind. When I think about to grind something, it's to like literally
Mash.
pulverize it. Yeah, like destroy it into nothingness. Right, grind it into pulp. That's
And
not.
words are powerful. I used to always say I was a hippie hustler. I like that. I like that. That's mine. That's my tag, hippie hustler. But then I had to think about why I want to hustle. And to be a hippie attractor. Like just about words. I feel like words are very powerful.
Yeah, oftentimes I remember having it seemed like a petty conversation in the moment, but it was one about, getting people to join the struggle or getting people to join the movement,
Right.
and the different reactions that you get, like all the way down to just really, it's sales. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was sales and marketing in the way that we had to present the ideas and the information. So that's something that I definitely always think about when I hear that concept. It's not even it could be splitting hairs, but that stuff makes a difference. Like I said, words have vibrations, words have power. So choose them wisely. Speak slowly. Think often. Right. Think twice. Speak once. Um,
So what are some things that bring excuse me bring you pleasure?
um, man, freedom. Um, Meaning the ability to choose what I do with my time. As we saw, man, who was that? That was the I can't even remember that brother's last name, where he said, "Man, you need to start buying back your day."
Oh yeah, that was a good video.
Yeah, that was a powerful piece. We was part of the live. I bet that's probably recorded, being replayed somewhere for some people. But having that overstanding brings me pleasure. Um, my ability to serve myself and my family and my generations with that knowledge, to apply that knowledge, to build that trust, not just talking about in the like non-tangible sense, but the literal trust account. Both to those are things that bring me pleasure on a more like collective sense, on a more immediate sense. You know, I get a lot of pleasure. I feel like through exercising through my obstacles and insecurities. Um, and then you have a little more. I feel like I have a little more confidence to face them. So that's one of my big motivators for constantly being, allegedly preparing my body, allegedly preparing my mind, so that I can be prepared when the time comes that I need that. Um, I get pleasure from being a pleaser, from providing in ways that I can. Definitely, I wish I could say in always, but in ways that I can. Um, so those are some of the things in being that bring me pleasure. What about you?
A hot cup of coffee. brings me pleasure. It really does. A good book brings me pleasure. To dance brings me pleasure. Apparently, helping people brings me pleasure, even though it stresses me out. Um, Game of Thrones brings me pleasure. It does. Um, the sunrise brings me pleasure. For those who didn't know, that when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you should do is go see the sunrise. Go look at the sun. If it's up, don't look at it. But the sunrise. It's supposed to recalibrate something in the optic nerve or something like that. That's why I get up and go outside, try to catch the sunrise when I can. Talking gives me pleasure, and giving. I'm a giver. Brings me pleasure. It actually really brings me pleasure to give and make those around me feel loved. That brings me pleasure. Being at work and seeing transformations brings me pleasure. I think that's cool. I like people watching. I mean, a lot of things, little stuff bring me pleasure. Flowers bring me pleasure. Um, a nice glass of Moscato d'Asti. Pleasure.
Yes.
And now Kunda and Friends brings me so much pleasure because that's the only time I can get some work done during the day. Where's Kunda? I need Kunda to come on. Kunda and Friends.
Something. Good morning.
Teaching CPR brings me pleasure. And it brings me pleasure because my classes are never about CPR. And I think that's the amazing part. Seeing the reactions of the random information I give in class or the introductions that we do in class, because I always do introductions because I want to prove the point of 6 degrees of separation and that we're all separated by, we're 6 people removed from each other. And it always blows people's mind when I connect it at the end. It's just, that brings me pleasure. I guess to see lights go off in people's heads. Brings me pleasure.
It's the little things, I think, is what I'm hearing from both of us.
Yeah.
It's not always the...
Attempting to twerk brings me pleasure because that's just funny. Oh man!
Hey, it's some big girl twerkers out there.
The things that my daughter sees me do in the mirror.
Hey, you gotta learn somehow.
But she doesn't try to mimic it. She just looks at me funny, like, "What are you doing?"
We gotta tap you in, man. We talk about it, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7 generations. But
and to see her do push-ups is funny. I wish you could be here when she's doing her 25, 25, 25. That stuff's hilarious. But it is amazing. These babies, they be watching.
Man, everything.
And she tries to count like them too. It's so funny to me. I'm like, look at her.
Right, to see her counting is nice. So yeah, I mean, all of those are things that bring me pleasure. I don't know. I guess the dichotomy in me, the dialectics in me, still wants to speak to pleasure as something that can be abused, overused, taken you out of balance. Not because it's a bad thing by far, but because I feel like, dare I say, for lack of a better phrase, many things, almost anything taken out of moderation can be dangerous.
I think intention is everything. I do. I lost my thought. Dang.
Intention is crucial, though.
Intention is crucial, but I had another point to make. I think it's also how you define it. If you don't, your experience is based on your definition of it. I choose to have my definition of pleasure be something that's high vibrational raising, something that can keep me in a state of calm and peace when the world around me is chaotic. I feel like the negative connotations on pleasure, it being taken out, being able to be abused. Of course, anything can be abused, but you can't abuse it if that's not your intention. If your intention is escapism, then yeah, you're gonna abuse that pleasure because you're not using it for to raise your vibration. You're using it as a temporary win to fix whatever void is happening. The intention is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion, though.
No, man, I think that's a strong point. I think that's a valid point. But that's just my opinion. So you know what I mean? So, I get it. I feel you though. I see where you come from. Um yeah, I don't know. I think about sometimes I don't know how to put it. Like just kind of the idea that like so I had a conversation with the young man that you met today, right? One of my coworkers. Um and that conversation was like, he's like, man, talking to one of his associates, and he's like, you're a black man with a master's degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that they got your name on a list, on an FBI list somewhere, right? Like, it's no way that they don't. Like, what kind of, a black man is never supposed to get a master's degree was kind of his point. And as much as I kind of agree, my point was still like, but today we also have to starve those distractions. And so, in thinking about that idea that, as you damn well know, it's very easy to let them algorithms take you down a rabbit hole of, BBLs, booty clapping, and Instagram becomes a totally dark web kind of thing,
true,
dog.
but
So
that's also based on how you keep clicking
the intent,
the intention. The algorithms go based on what you're clicking on. If you know I don't want to see that because that ain't what I'm on, my algorithms change. The more I click on more self-help, more this, that, and the third, then my algorithm's different. When I was not in high vibration and it was fuck these niggas, that was always on my timeline. It's the intention.
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't know about that shit. I don't know about that shit. You always gonna get your fair share of toxic bullshit.
Absolutely, they're gonna have to entice you.
And that's, yeah. I mean, but what I guess what
Based on how you
my point my point in that was just like, yeah, that point of you have to have a well-rounded approach in your preparation. You can exercise your body a lot and not exercise your mind in that context and still be uh, basically, combatively neutral, weak, not able to do something, right? So, not able to get things done that are needed to do. So, it's important, I think, to not just, I think, to balance pleasure, to keep it in context because everybody is different and speaking to, you know, some distractions that are very prevalent. So that's the context I want to present on it as well. But yeah, pleasure is an amazing thing. It's a hell of a motivator, like I said.
I said, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
For sure.
Well, I think this is a great topic.
Yeah, we can come back to this one.
Yeah. It's actually never one of my favorite books. It's, Eric Drum Dickey Pleasure. If you ain't never read it, go read it.
Classic. So I guess that's it for this time.
Yeah.
We thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for hanging in our river.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you at. And we'll see you on the other side. Oh, what's this program called?
Pillow Talking.
Okay, let's make sure we keep that. It's documented.
Peace.